To test your service, you'll need to send a few SMS messages to each of the channels that you defined. To do this, the SMSP platform provides you with an SMS testing tool, which you can access from the main menu if you click on SMSP Management and then SMS Testing. Again, this will allow us to send test messages to our service to ensure it's running properly. In the From field, you can insert a mobile phone number. We recommend you insert your own mobile phone number so that you receive the response from your service. In the To field, you'll insert the shortcode or shortcodes that you used. And in the Text field, you start with your keyword, then a space, and then we need to insert our answer for the first question. We'll first simulate a user who wins the quiz, so he needs to answer all questions correctly. So D was the correct answer for the first question and B was the correct answer for the second question. Okay, now this user should have won it. Now I need a different user who answers correctly to the first question and then incorrectly to the second. Then I need a third user who answers incorrectly to the first question, and I need a fourth user who will answer correctly to the first question but then will forget to send the second reply. And I want another user who's going to win my quiz. And don't forget, I need to test my second channel as well, so I'll change the keyword. It was on the same shortcode, so number 6 will answer correctly to the first question again. Number 6 will win the quiz. Number 7 will answer correctly, then incorrectly. Number 8 will answer incorrectly to the first question. Number 9 will answer correctly to the first question and then again not send a second message. Okay, now that we're done with our testing, we can return to the active quiz page . Where we can now click on the VAST name to access the VAST view page, where we can see messages received, the VAST details and the statistics of the service. At the top right of this page we can see the Actions box. This contains all the actions we can perform on this service. The first button, Reconfigure, allows us to change any of the parameters of the service that we want. The second button, Pause, allows us to suspend this service so that it's no longer processing messages. All the messages are placed on a queue and will be processed again when I press the Resume button and I see that my service has been resumed. The third button, Stop, ends this service and stops accepting SMS messages on the channels that I defined in the wizard. Finally, the new Draw button randomly selects winners out of the participants of the service. This can be used if we want to give away prizes to our participants, and there is a separate tutorial that you can view on how to run a lottery. Below the Actions box is the SMS Messages section. In this there is a table showing all the SMS messages sent, with the timestamp, the mobile phone number, the status of the player using this mobile phone number, and in the message column you'll be able to see the question that the player has answered incorrectly and the answer that they gave. So both of these players have answered incorrectly and they've given A as their answer to the second question. The green circle with the tick means that the player has won the quiz. This sign means the player has answered some question incorrectly. And this sign means that the player is either still playing or has abandoned the quiz. We consider any player that hasn't sent a message through the platform for more than 2 hours to have abandoned the quiz. If you have access to the multicast module, you'll be able to reply to each of these numbers individually or add them to a group by checking the appropriate checkbox, selecting the group that you want to add them to, and then clicking the multicast group button. If your list of messages gets too long, you can use the search bar to find the specific numbers you're looking for. You can also sort the list by clicking on the appropriate column name, and you can export the list to a number of different file formats. Below the SMS messages section, you'll find the statistics section. In this section we can find the total participants and unique participants. This is the same because I've selected the unique participants option for this service. Then below that you can see an overview of the current quiz status, so we can see that for this quiz we've had 3 winners. There's nobody currently playing. That means there's nobody that's sent a message to the first question in the past 2 hours. There's 2 players that have answered incorrectly, and there's 2 players that we consider to have abandoned the quiz. Now you might remember that when we sent the test SMS messages, we sent 2 SMS messages with the wrong answer to the first question, and that was to show you that any players that answer the first question incorrectly will not be counted as participants of the quiz. That's why we've got only 7 participants, whereas we sent 9 messages, as you can see from the counter that we used. We do get a trace of these players in the statistics, however, because we can see here in the analysis of answers of players who have answered incorrectly that in the first question, out of a total of 4 players who have made a mistake, 2 of them made it at the first question and the other 2 of them made it at the second question, and that's these 2 players, 1, 2, that answered incorrectly to the second question, and the other 2 are the ones that don't appear as participants. The final table shows us the total correct and wrong answers given by participants. In this table we only count answers from participants who have completed the quiz. That's they've either won it or they've either answered incorrectly to a question. Below the statistics section is the instance parameters, where we can see the parameters of our service. Below this section is the SMS channels, which shows us the channels used. And finally we have the list of questions. Please note that this is how your questions will be sent to your users' mobile phones. This concludes the tutorial on the quiz value added service. We've seen how to create a new quiz, how to change some of its parameters using the reconfigure functionality, and how to test it by sending various SMS messages. We finally saw all the different information that we have in the quiz view page and the statistics provided by the quiz services. Thank you for watching. If you have any further suggestions, comments or questions, please feel free to contact us.